Saints vs. Bucks, another divisional game to start the season. The big bad wolf in Tom Brady makes his way back to New Orleans, where the last memento he left was a game-losing pick six. Jameis Winston is gearing up to play Tampa Bay for the first time since Halloween 2021, where an illegal dirtbag, shitbag, horse collar tackle from Devin White tore his ACL. Both QBs and teams in general have massive chips on their shoulder. Both teams also secured a win in week 1, so only one will come out of this game undefeated. Can the Saints hold up their 4-0 regular season record versus Tom Brady, or will he finally get his revenge after these past 2 years have caused nothing but frustration against the Saints? Let's talk about it. No matter who, what, when, where, or why these two teams are playing, it will always be a good game. The Saints have obviously had the upper hand in the past 4 games these two teams have played, but let's go ahead and talk about some major changes that have taken place since these two teams last met that could affect this game's outcome. For the Saints, the big one is the secondary. 4 out of the 5 guys in the Saints nickel package are brand new. Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Bradley Roby somewhat, and Justin Evans are not who we would have seen trotting out to face Tom Brady in the past. Paulson Adebo is missing this game with injury. Marcus Williams signed with Baltimore. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Tom Brady's arch nemesis, got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, which sucks because I've never seen somebody get in Tom Brady's head like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did. He was a literal pest. All of these players are no longer part of the Saints' defensive game plan. We had quarterbacks like Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian cleaning house, and that was obviously just because of defensive efforts. Like, Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian are not going out there with an average defense and winning a game. You have to put a generational performance on for them to even come close. So that says a lot about how important defense has been in these matchups. So a huge question we have here now is, can the Saints defense still provide the same level of play while being almost completely brand new? You can't expect Marcus Mariota, who hasn't started a game in 23 years, to be able to pick apart and find the cracks of a non-fully gelled secondary. But MITB is someone who absolutely can. Who's MITB, you ask? Marital issues Tom Brady. A big factor in this game, like no joke, I'm being dead ass serious, is how Tom Brady is taking his marital issues with supermodel, longtime wifey Giselle. They've been living separately for about a month, and I know this shit is funny, but I swear to God, it has impact on this game. I find it hilarious to act as if their failed marriage counseling is like a huge thing, but I promise you, it has at least somewhat of a contribution to Tom Brady's play. Like, will he play worse to get paid less for a lower divorce settlement? Or will he try to win her back with a 500-yard performance? We won't know until Sunday, but that's definitely something we have to keep in mind. Marital issues, Tom Brady could be a different monster. But seriously, for the Saints, it was about the secondary for sure, but not really. The main reason the Saints were able to fluster Brady so much was because they were able to get pressure without blitzing. Brady has never played worse against a team rushing only 4 people in his entire career, and here are the stats to back that. I'm going to put them up on the screen. You can take a look at them. With Ryan Jensen and Aaron Stinney already missing the season and several other offensive line losses, the Buccaneers will be without one of their best in Donovan Smith as well. If their offensive line was getting beat up by 4 while healthy, I can only imagine Dennis Allen sees these injuries as an opportunity. Hopefully he and our defensive line sees that opportunity. Other injuries for the Buccaneers have reared their ugly heads as well. Chris Godwin is out for this game. Julio Jones, Mike Evans, and Russell Gage all had issues in practice this week. I've been hearing that Julio Jones may be on a pitch count, and the ability for Mike Evans to make it through 4 quarters of football without tearing every ligament in his body has always been up in the air, so we'll have to see about that as well. Leonard Fournette also popped up on that injury report this week, but it's hard to see him not playing after his domination of the Dallas Cowboys. Man's had 127 rushing yards on 21 attempts, which is very, very impressive. That could spell bad news for the New Orleans Saints, as they just allowed 201 rushing yards, 120 of those going solely to Cordarrelle Patterson, who has our phone number, like, in the contact list, like, on speed dial, like, pinned. You know iMessages where you can pin someone's conversation to the top? He has the New Orleans Saints up there like that ass. Dude owns us. Those aren't the only injuries in this game, though. The Saints are having injury problems of their own as well. Jameis is questionable with a back injury. I'm sure he'll play. Alvin Kamara is questionable with a rib injury. If you notice, we signed Latavius Murray to the practice squad this week. Not sure if that's related. Alvin Kamara, when he first got injured, said that he was good, but we're just going to have to see how that holds up when this game announcement comes out tomorrow. And Paulson Adebo, like I previously mentioned, is out. Paulson Adebo being out is huge because that puts Bradley Roby on Julio Jones, who, injured or not, is a very, very tough assignment. Bradley Roby was a big target of Mariota's last week, allowing 70 yards on 6 catches on 8 attempts. He will have his hands full. So what does this game come down to, in my humble opinion? The ability to protect the quarterback. Whoever is disrupted more will lose this game. Even though the Saints offensive line struggled early last week, and I made a whole video dedicated to that. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and do so if you so choose. It showed promise towards the end. The Buccaneers losing Donovan Smith is huge for an already battered offensive line. So if Cameron Jordan and company can actually, maybe get a sack, because they didn't do that last week. If they can get a sack this weekend, it could spell serious trouble for Tom Brady. The tangibles are in the Saints' favor. They're at home. They're considerably healthier. They have Michael Thomas back, who is sure to have a chip on his shoulder from Carlton Davis's shit talk. We have Chris Olave now, Jarvis Landry, who just had a 100-plus yard game, and a 4-0 regular season record against Tom Brady. But I'm not going to sit here on YouTube and jinx my beloved New Orleans Saints. I'm not knocking on wood, nothing. Hopefully you guys can thank me for this, okay? Let's get into it. Because of time being time, I have to say that Tom Brady is overdue for a win. He will be going up against a brand new secondary who are bound to have some communication issues. The luck will run out, and the Buccaneers will finally get their coveted win against the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Now that I've said that, I need all of you that are currently residing in New Orleans to start doing that like voodoo magic, black magic shit you guys do to solidify this reverse psychology. Thank you. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be a great game. There's a lot that it comes down to, but at the end of the day, I feel like whoever's protecting their quarterback better is going to win. Obviously, there's no way to tell until Sunday, but let me know what your guys' predictions are down in the comment section below. Thank you, fellas, so much for watching, and I will see you boys in the next one. Adios. 0 grass.